If your stomach is a-growlin' and you want to make something now, man, stop by Bachelor Kitchen. Episode 7. Country Sausage Gravy.
Hi, and welcome to Bachelor Kitchen. I'm your host, Cal, and this is my cooking show for regular guys. Today we're going to be making country sausage gravy. Sausage gravy is a welcome addition to any breakfast or any other meal for that matter. So let's get started. I've already washed my hands and I've gotten a little bit of a head start here. I'm using my giant cast iron skillet today, and I've prepared my sausage into patties. I'm using a pound of sausage that was made by a famous country music star. He's dead now, but anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to fry this sausage. So just follow the instructions on the package and you'll be fine. And then when we get this fried up, we'll be right back. Okay, so I've fried my sausage off, and so now we're ready to make gravy. I've actually saved the ends of my sausage loaf, the part that gets all squished up when they cinch the ends up. And so I'm going to cook those now, and I'm just going to break them up. And these are going to give us the little extra bits in our sausage, and it's going to make it extra good. You just want to mush those up and get those to cook as fast as you can. The reason I'm doing this is that because, well, back in the day when people used to buy their sausage in bulk and form their own patties by hand, when they fried it up, they got more of the bits falling off the edges, and so the gravy had more bits in it from just that. So I like to add these two ends just to give us some nice bits in our gravy, some nice sausage bits in our gravy. And once we get those cooked up, then we're just going to scrape them to one side of the pan. I'm going to turn my heat off just temporarily here, and I'm going to let my hand go off the edge of the burner just so that the grease can run down to this edge of the pan so I can see how much grease I've gotten from my sausage to make gravy with. And this will take a minute or two, but gotta do it. So we'll help it along a little bit here, just so that we can see how much grease we actually have. And this is where you kind of have to make a judgment call, because the grease or the fat is what we need to make good gravy, because that's where all the flavor is going to be. Okay, so gravy is really a basic recipe, and so it's basically 1 tablespoon of fat, 1 tablespoon of flour, and a cup of milk, and you have gravy. We're using our sausage fat for our fat, and so here we have to kind of make a judgment call and say, well, how much fat is in my pan? If you're not comfortable doing that, one thing you can do is say hold up your tablespoon measure next to your pan, just so you can get an idea of what a tablespoon actually looks like next to the drippings in your pan. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I bet there's probably at least a couple of tablespoons of fat in there. So we want to make about 3 cups of gravy today. It's a nice amount to make. So there looks like there's probably a couple of tablespoons of grease in there. Probably a little bit more. So I'm going to add to my fat. And I'm going to supplement it with just a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon of butter. So we just want to get that butter to melt in with our fat. And now we want to add our flour. And we want to add a tablespoon of flour for every cup of gravy that you make. And now I can't find my tablespoon. Oh well. We'll make do. So 1, 2, 3. And now we just want to get that flour mixed in with our fat. And we're going to turn our heat back on now. You want to make sure that the flour gets completely coated by the fat, otherwise you'll get lumpy gravy. So bring this back up onto the burner, and we want to cook this just a little bit. And I've got my burner set to about medium heat. So like I said, we're making 3 cups of gravy, so we have 3 tablespoons of fat and 3 tablespoons of flour, and we're cooking that. Technically they call that a roux. So we're gonna let this cook for a few minutes just to get that raw flour taste out of it. Once it starts bubbling and starts looking yummy, then that's a good sign that we're ready to move on. Okay, so that looks nice and bubbly. So now we can add our milk. We're making 3 cups of gravy, so we add 3 cups of milk. And now you just want to start to stir. And you want to make sure that you scrape up all of those lovely sausage bits that are on the bottom of your pan. And we want to bring this up to a simmer or a boil. And this will probably take about 5 minutes or so. And you want to salt and pepper this to taste. As you can see, our gravy has started to bubble and boil, and with that it's starting to thicken up. My pan and my spoon are quite noisy. But you just want to stir this until it gets as thick as you want it to be. Usually you can tell when it starts leaving a path behind the spoon when you're stirring on the bottom. That's a good sign that it's pretty done. But you just want to get it to the thickness that you like. You can kind of see how it's starting to leave a trail behind the spoon. It smells really good. And I think we're done. So I'm going to get a serving dish. And I'm just going to pour this off. And there you have sausage gravy. And there you go, sausage gravy. And so now you get some biscuits like we made in episode 6. Get some of this sausage. Then spoon your gravy over. And there you have biscuits, sausage, and gravy. And here you have sausage gravy with sausage. The gravy, though, is really the star of the show. There's nothing like sausage gravy. So, this has been episode 7 of Bachelor Kitchen. Today we made our country sausage gravy. It's very tasty. Everybody needs to know how to make gravy. So, check back for future episodes. Hopefully we'll get something put together for you to watch. And thanks for watching, and I'm going to go enjoy my biscuits and gravy. Bye.
If your stomach is a-growlin' and you want to make something now, man, stop by Bachelor Kitchen.